Hey, Ron, this is Mom. I just wanted to see how y'all were. I love you so much. Call me back. Hey, this is Mom. Please call me back. It's Tuesday night. Love you, bye.
If only it were that easy, right? That you could just pick up the phone and call them and connect with them again. Today, we're asking those questions. Can we really communicate with our loved ones who have passed? How do I do this? How do I communicate with them? Do they even want to hear from us? And what do they want to say to us? Welcome to How Do I Do This with Ryan, the show where we ask the messy questions, we figure this out together, and we live in the space of the messy middle of hard life. And if you've listened to this show, I hope you have listened to the episode called The Tea. I talked with a medium, and I love Jesus too. My guest today is Elias Patras, and he was the person I spoke with. We had so many questions after the show that I knew I had to bring him back on. In that past episode, we talked about my skepticism, my faith, and whether I even believed any of this could be true. But today is different. He's going to actually do a reading with me. So you're going to hear what comes through, the pauses, my surprises, every word. And if you're listening with crossed arms saying, I don't think I'm buying any of this, that's okay. And if you're also on the other side listening and saying, I think my mom or my dad or my friend is constantly sending me signs, that's okay too. You're both welcome here at this table. So Elias, welcome. I'm so glad you're here.
I'm so glad to be here. Thank you so much.
All right. So, we have a tradition on this show where we have tea in honor of my grandma, Mabel. What did you pick out today?
Today I picked out a stress-free tea.
Okay. All right. I picked the same thing because if I'm being honest, it feels very vulnerable to have a reading with cameras. You've read me before. Full disclosure to everyone, and one other time. And so this is I needed the stress-free too. So before we get started, I think it would be very interesting for me to understand a little bit more. How did the details come through to you? Is it something you feel? Is it something you see? What does that look like for you?
So for anyone that does this work professionally and authentically and with integrity, everybody gets it a little bit different.
Okay.
I see, I hear, I smell and taste, and then sometimes things just literally, I feel like, where did that come from? I have no idea. But what I've learned in this work is the very first thought, feeling, whatever comes through, that's what I have to go with. And the funny thing is, because I'm Greek and because I am a foodie, they love to talk to me about food. I remember my very first client where we were talking and I'm like, and she grabs to go get the wastebasket. She thought I was going to throw up. And she's like, are you? And I'm like, no, I'm good. But I'm like, why am I tasting pumpkin pie? And now I'm tasting chocolate chips. And she got so emotional. She said, Grandma used to make, now this is before pumpkin was a big thing, right? Mm-hmm. She used to make pumpkin chocolate chip muffins for them every Sunday.
Wow. The taste thing's wild to me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So when you're seeing images, are they always literal or can they sometimes be symbolic? So I want to understand, so whatever comes through that I'm kind of picking up what you're putting down.
Right. So with that, many things can happen. It's sometimes very literal or sometimes it is symbolic.
Okay.
So if I say, this is what I'm sensing, your loved one is showing me fishing.
Okay.
And you're like, they weren't a fisher. And if I keep on hearing fishing or seeing fishing, I'm like, oh, were they always fishing for X, Y, and Z?
Got it.
So it could be symbolic. And as I've been doing this for, my gosh, over 25 some years, sometimes now the signals have shifted.
Oh, interesting.
So I'll get a new thing okay, all kidding aside, right? I used to see Pop-Tarts, so I used to know that was a child. And I'm like, you don't have a child? No. And I'm like, Pop-Tart, Pop-Tart. And then I kept on seeing the Pop-Tart popping up in the toaster and the word tart coming up. And I said, was grandma a little risque? Oh, yeah.
Okay.
So
it can morph.
It can morph.
The language can change.
Yeah.
That's so interesting. Which is a great segue to my last question before we get started. If you say something and it's just not resonating with me, should I stop you? Do we continue? How do we navigate that? You know, I'm a planner, so.
I'm right there with you.
Okay.
So I totally understand. Here's the beauty about this work. It doesn't have to resonate. I'm not going to say, well, no, Ryan, it's this. But if I keep on hearing it, I'll say, hold it. And you can, let me know later. Or if it doesn't resonate, we toss it to the side. John Holland, who was one of my teachers, famous psychic medium, he said sometimes the person who I'm with, meaning you would be the sitter, I would be the reader.
Okay.
The sitter gets psychic amnesia. So in other words, I'll tell you the story. Okay. He was in a room with 300 people. And he's talking to this woman and he's like, I have a relative here, blah, blah, blah. He's talking, he's like, you're saying Barbara. And she's like, Barbara, no Barbara. It's like, you sure? And it's like, no Barbara. Her husband, who's sitting next to her, smacks her on the shoulder and says, that's you, Barbara.
Okay.
So it's like
that. And I remember there were things that came to me the day after we talked that I was kind of untangling and saying, and making connections because I asked for that for, a Valentine's Day present from my husband because I wanted to connect with my mom. So I understand the amnesia part.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Well, and I also brought two things because I thought maybe you could get some sense from both of the things just to see what you thought. So I brought this little lovely guy here. His name is Peppy. He has a name. Okay. And then this ring.
Okay, we'll go with the ring first. So what I'm doing is clairsentience. It's also feeling, but it's also called, there's a difference. Okay, so let's do this. And I'm not sure if I mentioned in the other episode, but a psychic perceives, a medium receives.
Okay.
So a medium uses psychic abilities. A psychic not always is a medium. I believe truly that we all have these abilities, we just don't tap in. And I think we mentioned that in the last episode.
Yeah.
So this is very interesting. It's beautiful, first of all. It's a beautiful ring.
Did you want to pray first?
And you know what? Thank you, because I just heard in my ear, tap, tap. This would be my mom tapping me on the shoulder. All right, we're going to do a little prayer to make sure that we're all in and I'm getting exactly what we need to get. Okay, so we ask that God's love and light surround us. We ask that God puts us in a beautiful, divine, golden bubble. Within this light, within this energy, we ask God shine his love and light through us, to us, around us, above us, below us, to our left and to our right. We ask that our teachers, our loved ones, God's angels surround us. We ask that Archangel Michael, Uriel, Ariel, Gabriel, and Raphael be with us. We ask that the words come through with compassion and passion. We ask that the words come through with a little bit of humor and a little bit of bluntness. We also ask that the words are as accurate as possible and that for everyone here, the words are healing and that we leave from today enlightened, loved, and know that God is always with us and always shining his love and light, moving us forward on this path. We ask this in his name with peace to all and harm to no one. Amen.
Amen. All right.
Okay. So was this passed down to you?
Yes.
Okay. And it feels like, and I'm going to mention this, I'm not always right. Nobody is. Mm-hmm. And if I get it wrong, I get it wrong. I let it go. But it feels like grandma to mom to you. Mm.
That's 100% correct.
Okay. And is this like, I think we might have mentioned this, I don't know, over the phone or something. It's the old name. Like, I know now because you mentioned it earlier before we got here, but it's Mabel.
Yes.
Yeah. Because I told you, I feel like someone's coming through like a Bertha or an old, like, old name. Super sweet and super, super, the only way to say it is super Southern. Like she was like, proper and everything else. Just beautiful energy though. But you knew when she meant business, she meant business.
Yes.
And she gave you that one look that was like.
Oh yes. She had this mouth thing where you knew she was displeased. It was my mother called it, she looked like she had sucked a lemon because she was fine until she wasn't. And when she wasn't.
And meticulous. Like if the fork was slanted to the left, she would go there and make sure that it was to the right. This has great energy around. I don't want to sound like one of those woo people and go, oh, Ryan, it's got beautiful energy. But it really has, like, I can feel a lot of love in this ring. And it's really beautiful.
Well, and what's special, it is a ruby, and she wanted me to have it. So she was a working mom outside of the home in the 50s, and she's going to buy her own jewelry. And she bought this ruby ring because of the Proverbs 31 woman, and she wanted me to have it. And so I wear it a lot in her honor because she was also a mom to an only son. Mm-hmm. And so, yeah. Very
nice. Yeah. Very, very nice. Yeah. Cool. Wait, hang on. There's more. Okay. I'm just going to go with it. I know it's not. See, the logical mind kicks in. And I'm like, well, that can't be it. Did she do anything, I'm just going to mention it, with fondue or anything with like a cheesy something?
Yes, she made divinity every year at Christmas, which takes a lot of stirring. The temperature in the air has to be just right. The humidity has to be just right. And she always tried to teach me how to make it, and I never quite got it because I have a skill set. Okay, that's not it.
But do you have some of her recipes?
I do, actually, in a cookbook right over there. Yeah, absolutely.
Like, I'm seeing, like, Ryan, just try it. Okay. Just try it. Stop worrying about, oh, thanks. And now this is my lesson. So it's both of our lessons for both of us. She's like, stop trying to get it right. Just do it. For me, just say it, because I wasn't going to say it. I'm like, fondue or something, right? But that's the beauty of this. Not only, in my belief, whoever I read for, I also learn something. And whoever's listening, if that message was meant for you, take it as for you. So it's cool. So someone with cheese fondue, just go for it. It's all good. Just go for it. Yeah. Do you want me to see about this?
Sure, yeah.
Okay. This one, oh gosh, this one, that's cute. So the first thing that I pick up is it's very masculine instead of very feminine. So I don't know what that means. I'm going to ask more. Is this from your dad's side of the family?
No. Mm-mm.
Okay. It feels older than what it looks like.
Yes, that is accurate.
Okay. And I don't want to make this fit. I don't want to now go, okay, now show me something from your mom's side of the family, right? But I'll just say what I'm picking up from it. Whoever had this, if this is yours, it's like you or whomever could not go anywhere without it. Mm-hmm. It was like, when kids have their little special blanket, this was like, this is it, right? I feel like, and I'm going to talk about the energy that's around this. It's like, this is what holds some of those precious moments of the alone time crying or the silly time, or it's like the one-on-one, like this would be a buddy in a sense. Whose is this?
That was my mom's, and she slept with it every day of her life. I'm not really sure. I know it was passed down to her, but it just recently came to be mine because my dad said it needs to be yours now. But even the night before she passed at the age of 75, it was in her bed. It was in her bed my whole life, even as a child.
Okay.
And my mom, I was like, Mom, you sleep with a teddy bear? And she was like, sure do. And so to your point, yeah, he's seen some things.
Yeah, but I'm wondering, the curious piece is I wonder where it came from before that. Because I might be picking up that. Because why am I picking up male energy? I don't know why.
You know, her uncle, who she was very close with, he may have given it to her. I could ask my dad.
Okay, so can we stick with that for a second?
Yeah.
Because the middle of my forehead's like someone's tapping on it like this.
Okay.
Which is weird, but I'll just say what I'm saying. Was your uncle... Okay, so if everybody knows I'm only 5'4", I know I look taller. But it feels like this person's a tall person.
He was tall, yes.
Okay, and we're talking like 6'6".
Probably, yes.
Okay.
I mean, I'm really short too, so everybody
Right, yeah.
in proportion to me feels pretty tall.
And it feels like this person, this energy around here, kind of like grandma that's strict, but then had such a tender heart, really tender heart, hard worker, and very like grandma, but not like grandma. Like the male energy around this. Oh, thank you, everybody. It's like the male version of your grandmother, but more masculine, if that makes sense.
I can see that.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's what I was picking up.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I wasn't picking up mom on this. I was picking up him.
Got it. That's so fascinating.
It's trippy even for me. It really is.
Yeah.
Thanks for bringing that.
Yeah, for sure.
We might as well just get into it if you want. Yeah. Because do you have some? I mean, I don't want to.
No.
Do you have something to ask?
Well, I'm really interested since we last talked. This idea for this show came for me. I'm really interested to know what mom thinks about it, because I've shared a lot on the show and with everybody who works on the show that my mom was a teacher, and I feel like she gave me this idea, and you actually predicted this idea a month before I received the download. It landed in my head, whatever, which was wild. For the listeners, I will tell y'all, during my reading with Elias in February, he said, you're going to do something with your job that's not your job now. And I was like, what are you talking about? He's like, I just have this sense that you're going to have a role with your company that doesn't have anything to do with your normal job being an attorney. He said, does that make sense? I was like, no, it does not. I'm going to be the attorney as far as I know. And then fast forward a month to 6 weeks later, and this little kernel of an idea of a show came to me. And I didn't even really put it together until the team that was helping me said, okay, well, what would the topics be? And I called you and said, would you be a guest? And you said yes. And then all of a sudden it was like, I remembered our conversation the 6 weeks before it even came to fruition. So I guess what I would like to know is, what does mom think about all of this?
Well, she's your biggest cheerleader, and your mom is hysterical. Can I just tell you?
She's super funny.
She wants, she would rather sit here and be in charge. Totally, right? Can you see that about her? She's just like, oh my God, she's like, testing, am I on? Right. The sense that I get about her, for everybody listening, I want to explain how the process goes. So right now I don't hear the exact words. I'm seeing many pictures happening. Now I have to put the pictures, like Pictionary, I have to put them together.
Okay.
But then your mom is saying, She's like, I will go ahead and speak up.
Okay.
Then she's like, you're better than that. I'm like, oh my God. Correcting me. She's cute. There is more coming, is what she wants to say. There is more coming. You have just cracked yourself open to the possibility of healing so many people, of making it easy to understand the whys. And you have been given this opportunity to share what you know, to share how you're going through it, and making it make sense for someone that said, am I crazy? Because I don't know how to do this. And you are showing people from all the guests that you have, these are ways, possible ways of how do you do this. And it's okay not to know.
Yeah, because I don't know.
Right. You're making it easy for someone to say, I'm not crazy. I'm not normal. I think that's what happens. I think God goes ahead and says, here's your game plan. You're going to have some stuff happen to you that you're not going to basically like. I mean, I lost my mom at 35 and I lost my dad at 36. So as an only child, I was lost. I was completely lost. And because I was so angry at my parents for leaving, and I think we mentioned this last time, I don't even remember half of what I said, but I think because I was angry and I felt guilt of, was it there enough for my mom? Was it there enough for my dad? That I didn't hear from my mom for a whole year. And it was little signs that I didn't even notice, that now I go back, I'm like, come on, Elias, duh. That was there, right? She is so proud of you, as we said last time. And she's like, there's more coming. There isn't anything you can't handle, Ryan.
I'm glad she feels confident in that.
But she knows you well. She knows you really well.
Yeah.
And then I see this.
Yeah.
Tapping on the hand.
Yeah. The other person I would like to hear from is my law professor, who, really helped guide a lot of my legal career. He passed a few weeks before my mom, about 6 weeks before my mom. We're coming up on the anniversary of he had a lot of goals for me. Just wonder what he also thinks about this.
So let me make sure that we've got him through. So here's an explanation. They don't necessarily show me a visual of your person. It's pieces. They will take pieces of my parents, my relatives, any TV show that I've seen, any movie that I've seen, any play that I've seen.
So it's like a caricature?
It is.
Okay.
It is. But it's like, here, take this, like it's your dad's nose and your mom's kindness, and they mix that all up, right? So for this, I see your professor kind of a lot like my dad in some ways, and I'm going to explain that. My dad was a history buff. Like, he loved history. And my dad went to University of Chicago. So super smart. So I feel like he's super smart. I feel like he also really looked at things and looked at it with a fine tooth comb, and then looked at it again, and then looked at it a third time. Thank you. I'm saying thank you to everybody upstairs, but did he give you a leather-bound book?
Yeah, it's actually in there. It's several. He would just give me copyright law books or books
this is
that he
old.
thought. An old book.
An old book. Like, it almost smells, so now I'm smelling it.
Okay.
It almost smells musty or like mothballs. So that could also be a sign for that it's older than you think. Like, it's not like, here's a fresh copy, Ryan. This is like maybe 50 years old or something like that.
Maybe. I mean, over over our time together, he gave me, I'm probably having the amnesia thing. It's going to come to me tomorrow. But I mean, he gave me so many tools and things he had written and things that he, just to help me, understand. To your point about his intellect, he was highly intelligent. And it's so interesting that you talk about reading things 3 times, because the way he would grade law exams after I was out of law school, I learned he would do a first pass and put them in stacks. So this is possibly the A papers. These are the B papers. These are the C papers. He would then go through them again a second time based on that, and then a third time, and then he would assign them, because in law school, everybody's on a bell curve. And so there's a few A's, a few F's, most everybody gets C's. And so the going through 3 times is definitely him.
And I just heard, as you said that, you were always his A student.
Yes, I was. Well, and he gave me a hard time a lot because I made the best grade in trademark class, and then I only made the second best A in copyright class. And I went and argued because I was not pleased with only writing the second best A. And he was like, "Are you kidding me? You need to go on. You still have an A. Why are you in here arguing about it?" But I needed a bookend.
That's funny. So I'm going to say that we have him here. He is so glad that you're finally following his path of understanding the possibility of what else is out there, what else is possible. And that's beautiful. Don't forget to dance. Does that?
Yeah, so both of those. He used to tell me all the time, "You're so focused on being a good attorney, Ryan, and you're more than that." He said, "Anybody can be an attorney. That's boring." He said, "You have more gifts than that." And the dancing is funny because he came to our destination wedding, and one of my favorite pictures is him and my dad dancing together, just these 2 old white men with too many mimosas in them, just like he loved to dance and he loved to entertain.
Nice.
So, yeah.
Very nice.
But there's a picture, actually, I have a wedding photo of him like in the air leaping, like doing a pointing thing. Like he's so into the dancing.
So there's another gentleman coming through.
Okay.
Are you open to this?
Yeah,
okay.
Whatever.
There's another gentleman coming through, and my chest is really heavy. Like it feels like there's either lung issues or heart attack or heart issues. And it almost feels like this person worked. I'm being shown, and I could be wrong on this, but I'm being shown like a postal carrier, or did the mail, or something about was in the mail. I don't know, or it could be just a government job. We could say it that way.
Yeah.
But someone who got a lot of mail, like a lot of mail. And okay, we're going to stick with that. Because I'm like, oh, maybe they mean it's a lot of mails in there. Mm-hmm. Nope, this is a lot of mail, like got a lot of mail. It almost feels like when this person passed, that there was a lot of mail around them, meaning a lot of bills or a lot of like, they kept all the mail. Some of the things weren't opened.
Well, I know when my grandfather passed, there was just tons of paper everywhere. I mean, just because my grandmother went first and then my grandfather 18 months later. And, there was a lot that my parents had to go through. But he didn't work for the government, and he didn't do, that's the only connection I can make right now.
So we're going to skip that because if so again, to talk about these symbols, maybe they took me from postal to mail to get to all the bills are all over the place.
Okay.
So that's how I have to decipher. And again, I'm not trying to make it fit.
Sure.
But if that's that, I know we have your crew here. Anybody postal worker? Anyone? No? Okay, just making sure. Because I mean, when I'm feeling stuff over my left ear, I'm like, somebody over here, but I just wanted to make sure. So I'm going to take it as bills all over the place. And this gentleman had like something, like a quirk around his mouth. Like either he's like, or something like the way he chewed and being shown the mouth. So it's like, something weird like that. I have no idea.
I have no idea.
Or if he smacked his food when he ate.
Maybe. Yeah, I think he did.
Okay. Did he have dentures?
No, but my grandmother did. Like his wife did.
Okay.
I don't know.
Okay. And I'm seeing a lot of blue around him.
Okay.
So either he liked the ocean or he was just a very see again symbols. Either he liked the ocean or he was just a very calm individual.
That is not my grandfather then.
Okay.
Because he was very short-tempered. He was known to have a short temper.
Was there a lot of blue in the house?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I just was a flash of blue, so I just go with it.
Yeah.
Okay. Hang on 1 second. So, I hear your mom, Miss Sharon, and then she's like, okay, I'm not done.
That's
like, she's like telling everybody to stop, that she still wants to.
That's okay.
Yeah, she's funny.
Okay.
She's funny.
That's who I want to hear from the most.
Okay, so I know we're sitting in your home, but there's, like, she's pointing at that candy dish.
That has all the cords in it?
No, next to it.
Oh, okay.
Oh. Thank you. So again, I'm showing you symbols, right? Life is sweet, Ryan. Take a bite of every candy. Even if you don't like it, just take a bite of it so you know what it tastes like.
And she was a sugar addict. I mean, it's why she had type 2 diabetes, and she never really could manage it in the way that I would hope she would, is because even now, around the corner, I have a box where my dad found she had little Baby Ruth candy bars stashed all over the house, and bags of M&Ms, and one of those things that as we've cleaned stuff out, I found myself very frustrated because, why did you have this shit? She
loved it. She absolutely loved it. My mom used to hide a box of Frango mints. It's a Chicago thing. In between the dining room table linens, in between, so nobody find them. We all knew where they were. I mean, my mom's like, honey, have you been in this? I'm like, no. Well, your father wouldn't. And my dad would walk around the corner. He's like, they're real good. He's like, when did you become a chocoholic? He's like, I just like them now lately. So he ate half of a box of her chocolates. She was not happy.
But her saying life is sweet, she always believed in ordering dessert first. She did that. One time when my dad was traveling out of town, it was summer, and we came into the kitchen and we said, Mom, what is for dinner? And she had cartons of ice cream sitting out. There was a strawberry and a vanilla, and there were seriously like 5 ice cream containers. And she said, we're having ice cream for dinner. I mean, the 80s and 90s were wild,
sure,
raising kids, of course. But that's what we had for dinner was all the ice cream.
Do you know what you just showed me?
What?
So take half a gallon of ice cream, okay? Let it melt, vanilla ice cream. Take your bread, dunk it in, and then put it, and she goes, you got French toast.
That's how she made French toast.
Really?
100%.
That's
if I'm lying,
crazy.
I'm done. No.
That's crazy.
When I was carrying my son, and she didn't think I was putting on weight enough because I was older when I had him. She told me every night, just go to Wendy's and get a Frosty. It'll help that baby grow in you. I was like, you're going to give me gestational diabetes. I can't have a Frosty. And this is not the 80s, Mom. I'm pretty sure my OBGYN would frown upon such advice. But she, stomach bug, you need a vanilla milkshake. Like everything could be or should be fixed with sugar.
She's a force to reckon with, I have to tell you. She just comes in so strong, and it's a pleasure to feel her energy. I have to tell you, if I can show in my mind's eye, she's just gleaming ear to ear. She just finds us all funny. She's like, I know it was good. I did the right thing. She's cute, super cute. Do you have a question for anybody?
Is she happy?
No pain, no worry. She's like, it's everything that she wants up there. And she could be with everyone that she loves at the same time. And so like, oh, I got to put you on hold. Hang on. She's like, her energy is huge on the other side. That's something that I want to tell your listeners, that love never ends. It is something continuous. And I think we down here miss them. But when they're in heaven and they cross over, all that's available is love. So now they're all love. And imagine your mom loving you anyway. Now, twice, 10 times that, right? And being able to help you in ways that we would not be able to do if they were here. So that's great. And she's, okay, I'll mention it. Hang on. And of course, your mother-in-law is like, don't forget about me, that she loves you too.
Yeah.
They're strong women. They're strong women.
No, that's why I've told my husband, like, if I'm to go first, don't you be doing any kind of crazy stuff here on earth, because I will combine forces with them. You think I have some witchy ways here on this side of heaven? Like,
that's funny.
It would not go well for you. The other thing I want to know is, what does she think? My son just started a new school year, and I always leaned on her a lot. The school year for me, because she was a teacher, it always feels more like a new year to me than January 1st. What advice does she have for me or for him for this next year? Because it feels very lonely not to talk to her.
Her words. She gave you all the right tools to make each year great. You are doing an amazing job. And she's like, you got it within you. You're doing the right things. You're loving him the way that he needs to be loved. You're educating him the way that he needs to be educated. You are teaching him how to be his own person. And she loves the books. So, you're teaching him the love of that. That's super sweet. You are a better mom. Okay. She said, you're a better mom than she is. And she's like, you're a better mom. almost as good as me, but no, you're a better mom.
That's exactly what you would say.
You're a better mom than she was. Because of her, you're a better mom than she was. And you all are blessed. Truly, truly. This family, everyone's family, but you are blessed to have the ability to understand that she is with you every day and she's guiding you. And she's funny. Even when she doesn't want to be guided, I'm making sure that she knows that I'm here.
So I've recently felt like she's very far away. What is that about? Is that me not noticing? Is that her pulling away so that I can heal? What is that?
We get in our own way.
Okay.
So, like I mentioned earlier, my guilt and anger got in my own way, and I do this work. My guilt and anger got in my own way. So technically, my teachers would always say that you never get a reading until 3 months after the person passes. I feel that after they go through soul school, the whole 40 days, Jesus 40 days kind of a thing, they learn stuff up there that they are more able to communicate differently. So she isn't gone. She's always with you. This is going to sound blunt, but I'm just going to be blunt. You're getting in your own way of the shoulda, coulda, wouldas is stopping the I can, I will, I'm going to. If she could tell you something that would ease your heart, thank you. When your son was a baby and he was crawling on the floor, did you say to him, "Why are you not running?"
No.
No. Ryan, take each step one day at a time. I'm not going anywhere. I always make the joke. It's not like, "Hey, Ryan, bingo at 5, gotta go, see you." It's not that they do that, right?
Right.
I think we get in our own way and we get in our own sadness because they're about love. They're not about sadness. They want you to celebrate, even though we can't because we have to go through our stuff. But, oh, that's fascinating. Okay, I'll mention that. Remember the times at the beach with her. Mm-hmm. Remember, okay, the carousel ride?
Yeah, we went to Disney last Labor Day.
Okay.
And that's the only ride she could and would do.
Okay. Remember those things is what she's saying. Not just trying to make you laugh. And don't forget to brush your teeth twice a day and floss.
Yeah. All of that tracks.
Okay.
So, and I'm still open to hearing whatever she has to say, always. But what do you think? Because sometimes when I'm feeling very disconnected with her, I listen to voicemails. What do you think tools or I watch videos or, I don't even know why that's like sticking with me. But do you think tools like that are helpful for people or hurtful? Because my husband sometimes will be like, are we going down that emotional cutting road today? And do you think that helps people connect with their loved ones? What's your opinion on that? Or do you think it's...
If we are talking about how can I grieve, how can I process this, what's good for you may not be good for me. I think every single person has to go. If you want to go ahead and watch movies for a whole week, great. But if it's keeping you in a place of being stuck, Like, I'm not leaving the house.
Yeah.
You're spiraling down.
Circling the drain.
Not good.
Okay.
I mean, I ate a whole bundt cake in 2 days.
Not good.
Not good.
Yeah.
No, I paid for it, but
Right.
But it was my way. My mom was a chocoholic. I connected her to her that way. That wasn't healthy. I closed off family because I couldn't go to Christmas or Thanksgiving because it didn't feel the same. And as an only child, this is where it snapped out of me. An only child, I was not wanting that. I was pissy. I was really pissy. So I stayed home with my 2 dogs on Christmas. I was invited to my cousins. I didn't go. And I thought the Chinese restaurant was going to be open. I'm like, oh, okay, there's no food here. I'll just go ahead and get something. They're closed. I found myself going to the gas station and buying a Hungry Man frozen dinner and having that and sitting on the floor eating and crying with the 2 dogs. And after I was done, I'm like, I get it. I get it. This is never going to happen again, this piece. So every Christmas, I made it like theirs. I made anybody that didn't have a place to go for Christmas, hey, we're having a misfit Christmas. Come on over to my house. We used my mom's china. We used all her crystal. We had potluck. It was, and Greeks don't usually do potluck. So, but, so I honored the memory of certain dishes, and that made me, I had a good Christmas. I didn't even put up a Christmas tree one year. And I heard my mom say, stop it. You love Christmas. What are you doing?
Yeah.
So they want us to be happy. But if you want to watch a movie, if you want to do, as long as you're not circle and drain, like you said, it's good. Everybody does it differently.
Okay. That's good to know. So you shared so many things to me that are healing. When you do readings for other people, do you find that it's more healing or more proof? Like, where do people fall? Because I think I came to this very open because just as you said, my mom said since I was teeny tiny, love never goes anywhere. It just changes forms, and I'll always be with you. And so I had our conversation, as a very open person. I didn't really need you to prove anything, although you did within the first 90 seconds, that she was speaking to you. So do people come to you wanting healing or proof or a mix of both? Like, what does that look like generally?
I think it's a mix of both. And being the former perfectionist and control freak that I was, I wanted to be right. Not because I'm right, but I wanted to be right so they knew that I wasn't one of those phony balonies. So as I grew into this work, I then said, this is not about me proving that I'm right. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. This is not about me having to prove something. This is about me offering information that I hope they leave here enlightened, healed, or at peace. Because any reading that you get, especially a mediumship reading or even a psychic reading, should leave you with an aha or a form of like someone has pressed their hand on your heart and just it stays there. That's what I'm hoping.
Yeah. So what would you explain to somebody, or would you explain, given your answer before, they're listening to this and they're like, well, Ryan's talked to him before. He's listened to other podcast episodes. All of that was coincidental. What would you say to them?
Sure. If that's what you want to believe, if that's where you are right now, great. But if you got just a hint, just something, I would say that why would God go ahead and not give us information? And I don't mean me, anybody. Why would we not want to know that our loved one is okay? And you and I both know that I had no idea about X, Y, and Z. So it's their choice. I'm not here to prove that I'm right. Like I said, I'm not here to prove the skeptics. I like skeptics. I was a skeptic. I'm here to say that if you're still in the grieving place and you want to feel comfortable, find someone that you feel comfortable. Do your due diligence. Go check them out. Look at the website. Follow the stuff. See if you resonate with them. If you feel like I can trust you. You know, I knew that when we talked the very first time to make the session, I'm like, I like her. I mean, this is going to be good. And there are some people I'm like, oh, hell no. I don't want to read you.
Right.
And there's been people like, well, I knew this wasn't going to work. Yeah. And I got nothing because they weren't open.
Well, and even before I reached out to you, those who know, if you're in Taylor Swift, this is definitely an Easter egg. They really get the connection of why when I reached out to you, it was a huge, like, flashing red sign. Like, yes, this is the person you're supposed to connect with in this space for healing. So what would you say to listeners who are listening and they are like, I'm interested, I'm not sure I'm ready to talk to a medium, but I know I want to connect more to my loved ones. How can they do that without talking with a medium? What does that look like?
So whether you say meditation or prayer, that's what it's all about. I will turn off my cell phone and I will be in the car and I talk to my mom and dad all the time.
So just having a conversation like they're sitting in the seat.
Like they're sitting right next to me. Sometimes I'll even like make myself laugh. I'm an only child, so you know, I've done that a lot. And I'll tap the seat and I'm like, Mom, I know you're here. And I'm like, this is just a great time. What do you think? Give me something to know. And then an idea will pop in and I'm like, well, I know that's not mine. I'm like, thanks, Mom. You know, or Dad, you know, this is it. Or if I'm doing something sciencey, like I have to explain something that is not in my wheelhouse, I'll call upon my aunt and say, okay, I know you were a teacher, a science teacher for 50 years. I'm going to be interviewed. And can you please tell me something that I don't sound stupid when I'm like, and then blah, blah, because I could bring out my massage school stuff.
Right.
But I want to know a little bit more of the nerve stuff that happens and what happens in the brain. And then I hear research X, Y, and Z. Okay. And I'm like, that was from my aunt.
That's so cool.
And my mom is all about feelings. My mom is all the logical one. My dad is the historian. I read somebody the other day. God, I'm sounding like my mom the other day. A couple months ago, I read somebody and I said to her, I said, I'm so sorry to ask, but did your husband pass? And she had resting bitch face. She was like, I said, I'm so sorry to hear that, you know, and I always say, may their memory be eternal in your heart. And I said, why am I hearing Celine Dion? My heart would go on and on. We don't like Celine Dion. And in my head, I'm like, well, shit. Now what, right? I'm like, where are you taking me? Where are you taking me? And then I kept on hearing Celine Dion. I saw the movie Titanic. I didn't understand any of it. And I said, please tell me more about your personality. I said, was he this? Yes. Great. I said, I'm Greek. Show me something that you want to show her. I said, did he like, this is disgusting, but did he like hamburger with peanut butter on it? Oh my God, it was his favorite thing.
So random.
And then I said, well, my heart will go on. Maybe that's the message. All references to Titanic, right? She calls me up the next day and says, Elias. I said, yeah. She goes, it's so-and-so, blah, blah, blah. And I said, yes, I remember you. And she said, I want to share this with you. The day the Titanic, my husband, as you mentioned, was a historian. The day the Titanic sunk was our wedding anniversary.
Oh.
So that's what I mean.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
So I don't remember what you said, but I heard to say that to you. So I'm so sorry.
No, how they could connect with their loved ones. It's as simple as prayer and just
prayer. And for this lady, thanks everybody. This lady, after that, she's like, I'm going to talk to him every day. I haven't. I'm going to go to church. She's Catholic.
So do they want to hear from us?
All the time.
They do. Okay.
They
so
do.
there's nobody who's like, yeah, hands off. I'm up here living my best life in heaven and I don't want to be bothered.
No, why wouldn't they? Because if they're of loved, wouldn't you want love? Wouldn't you want more love?
Yes.
So they're like, we're waiting.
I'm just thinking about that one. Everybody has that one kind of kooky relative. I'm not going to say family because they're just related. Then, even that person wants to be connected with.
But that person isn't the same when they cross over.
Okay.
Their characteristic is the same, but if grandma was a bitch when she crossed over, she'll say, sorry for being so bitchy to you, but I'm not that bitch now. I'm all about love. But if I said to you, Ryan, this is not for you, but if I said, Ryan, your grandma loves you, and you're like, yeah, that's not my grandmother. She was a bitch. But if I said your grandmother was a bitch, she's sorry, and now she's saying I'm all about love, that's easier to know. So even the kookiness will come over, but they're more mature than that.
Right. Got it. All right. Well, we've already done the Fabulous 5 with you before, so I have 5 new questions to end our show with.
Okay.
So what is something that, listening back to the episode that we did, that you wish, or after it was over with, that you wish you would have said, or that I didn't ask?
The winning lotto number. I'm kidding. I'm so kidding.
Well, the other day when you sent me an email and you said, what is your favorite color? And I said, shouldn't you know this already?
I was like, well, duh, pink, but I want to make sure. I want people to know, like, if you were to ask me, what's the biggest thing to tell somebody for a skeptic? I want them to be skeptical. I want them to say, but skeptic with an open mind and an open heart. Because when that heart is open, I know personally, because I tap in a lot to the emotional piece, I know that when you have an open heart, that's when things can come through. So I would say, if you ask me what's something to do with a skeptic, be open. Have an open heart at least.
Yeah. So when life is heavy, you mentioned the bundt cake. What is your guilty pleasure?
When life is heavy.
We all have it.
Well, it's either food, unfortunately. Unfortunately, it's food, but
same.
Give me a good dance party. I will like 1980s music.
I was going to ask you. You beat me to it. I was like, what's on the playlist?
1980s music. I graduated in 82 at high school. So I will take, a good song. The other day I was feeling a little funky. I was driving to a gig and I'm like, I just need something a little bit upbeat. I got me some Patti LaBelle, stirred up.
Yeah.
I got that whole song. And then when I'm in that funky, but I need a good song with a little more soul, you just put on Shaka Khan Through the Fire and I'm there. So
maybe you've taken away the answer to my next question, but what do you ask for as like your personal sign that always speaks to you when you're trying to make a decision? How does anything in particular like come through to you on a regular basis? Like in a certain form, like whether it's a book or a song lyric or a poem or a friend calling, like, is there something that comes up more for you?
It's always a feeling for me.
Okay.
When I feel like someone's touching my head, like they're massaging my scalp and I feel it all the way down to my body, that's like, oh, I got to do that. It's challenging because even me, I go to the logic side and say, well, that can't be it. I'm good with everybody else, but when it's my stuff, I'm really looking at it with that fine tooth comb. I'm really going, okay, I've got to take that, and that's my sign.
Yeah. If you could borrow one quality from someone for a day and like wear it around like a jacket, what's the quality you're going to borrow and from who? And who are you going to borrow it from?
See, now you're going to get me emotional. My mom, and she was a proper lady. She's a proper lady. And I think, you know, I'm a little bit more like my dad lately with a big fat Greek mouth, and my mom was always so proper. I would borrow the quality of knowing how to present myself in every single situation with finesse.
I love that. So one word right now about how are you feeling right now? No Instagram filter, no social media, just one word. How do you feel right now?
One word. I have to say honored.
Oh, that makes me happy. I love that. All right. Well, I can't call my mom back, but I think we learned today that connection can span time and universes. And I know that she's with me in small ways and in big ways when I have conversations with Elias. Thank you so much for being here today.
I appreciate it.
It's wonderful to connect with you in this way. And Mom, wonderful to connect with you and everybody else who came through. So that's it for today. You can ache for who you were before it all changed and still become someone new. Grief and growth sit at the table, oftentimes passing notes when we're not looking. This tea, this table, this time is part of your healing and is part of mine too. You're not broken, you're just brewing. Follow along on Instagram at How Do I Do This Pod and on YouTube at How Do I Do This Pod. DM me on Instagram and tell me what kind of grief you're holding right now. Seriously, I'll read every one and will probably be the person to respond back. Tell me what you have tried that you think might help me. I'm open to trying anything that's not illegal. Your story might find its way into one of our future episodes.